Carlos Reals Dominguez's attorneys are making a last-ditch effort to convince jurors their client was suffering from schizophrenia when he allegedly committed a double murder in California, arguing that cannabis-induced psychosis rendered him incapable of forming intent to kill. This is a critical point in the trial, as the defense is essentially claiming that Dominguez's mental state at the time of the crime was so compromised that he cannot be held fully responsible for his actions. The prosecution, on the other hand, is likely to argue that Dominguez's actions were premeditated and deliberate, and that his alleged schizophrenia does not excuse his brutal behavior. The reason this case matters is that it raises complex questions about the intersection of mental illness and criminal justice, and whether people with serious psychological conditions should be held to the same standards as those without them. As the trial nears its end, the jury will have to grapple with these difficult issues and decide whether Dominguez's schizophrenia is a legitimate defense or just a desperate attempt to avoid accountability. Moving on to another story that's making headlines, Fox News and Kevin OLeary are being sued by 4 plaintiffs who claim they were defamed by OLeary's accusations that they have ties to China. According to the lawsuit, OLeary made these false claims on Fox News without ever contacting the plaintiffs for comment, and the network invited him to repeat these accusations no less than 5 times over the course of 3 weeks. This case is significant because it highlights the dangers of spreading unfounded and damaging rumors, especially when it comes to sensitive topics like national security and foreign influence. In related news, a group of crime victims and advocacy organizations are petitioning the Sacramento County Superior Court to remove new parole regulations that they say are overly lenient and could put public safety at risk. The petitioners are specifically objecting to recommendations for resentencing, which they claim would allow violent offenders to be released back into the community too quickly. This is a contentious issue, as it pits the rights of victims and their families against the need for rehabilitation and second chances in the criminal justice system. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, a county is suing the federal government over its handling of an investigation into the shooting of 2 people by an ICE agent. The lawsuit alleges that federal prosecutors have been stonewalling the investigation and withholding crucial evidence, which was only recently turned over after months of delay. This case matters because it raises concerns about accountability and transparency within law enforcement agencies, and the need for effective oversight to prevent abuses of power. Finally, a judge has ruled that the identities of witnesses in a First Amendment case involving pro-Palestine demonstrations at Arizona State University must be revealed. The case centers on allegations that university president Michael Crow retaliated against a group of students who exercised their free speech rights by participating in a protest against U.S. military aid to Israel. The ruling is significant because it highlights the importance of protecting anonymity for witnesses in sensitive cases, while also ensuring that those who engage in retaliation against free speech are held accountable. And that's all for today. Tune in tomorrow when we'll be examining the shocking case of a former police officer who allegedly used his badge to cover up a string of burglaries.